Shalom Yasharahla. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Akakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Peace and salutation to you, Akium, or just pushing the truth in love and sincerity and in charity with all humility. Okay, this is the brother Yashawan from the GMS Bahamas Camp. Back at with another Monday Night Live. Okay, so yeah, man, you seen the title. Take heed unto or to yourselves. Okay, take heed unto to yourself. All right. So yeah, man. This lesson isn't going to be too long. Okay, Lord will it be edifying and build you up through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shai. All right. So when you would put into the search engine, okay, of the Bible or the Bible app, okay, and you search out the word take heed or the words take heed, okay, it will show up a result of 77 times. All right. So if you type in a Bible app, okay, and you type in take heed, all right, it will give you a result of 77 times. All right. So now when you go into these voices, these words, take heed, all right, you'll get a you'll get a better understanding, okay, of what it really means. Okay, when Yahweh Bashem Yahushai says, take heed, okay, we will get into the words take and heed, all right, from these precepts what I'm going to read. All right, it says Deuteronomy 4 and 23. Okay, you say, take heed unto yourselves, lest ye forget the covenant of Yahweh, your power, which he made with you, and make you a graven image or likeness of anything which Yahweh thy power had forbidden thee. Okay? So the first line is say, take heed unto yourselves. Right? Now, this word take, when you go into the word take, okay, from the Strongs, you say, attend to, beware, be circumspect, take heed to self, right? Mark, look narrowly, observe, preserve, reserve, all right? Save self, wait, watch, okay? Keep in mind those some of those meanings. Now, from the online etymology, all right, the word take, they say to grip, seize by force, lay hold of, okay? And that's the word take. Now, the word heed, okay, means to observe, to take care, attend, care for, protect, take charge of, right? So in Deuteronomy 4 and 23, when it says, take heed unto yourselves, lest ye forget the commandment of Yahweh thy power, meaning you have to be circumspect, all right? Lay hold and observe the covenant of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So when the Lord is saying take heed, you gotta be circumspect about your surrounding. You gotta lay hold and observe his covenant, his words, his commandments. Okay? Right? You have to attend to these words, which is preserved and reserved for us Israelites. Okay? You have to take hold of it, right? Lest, as the scripture says, ye forget the covenant of Yahweh, your power, which he made with you. Okay? So if you not taking hold of these words and forget, eventually your heart will turn from the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay. Shalom Mala, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Barakatah. All right. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Okay. Chapter 11 and 16. It says, say, take heed to yourselves. You see that? That your heart, meaning your mind, because heart in the Hebrew means the ab, which goes back to your mind, your thoughts. Take heed to yourselves that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. You see? All right? So this is what 2/3 right now, okay, they are being deceived and serving and worshiping other gods, which the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai have told us, okay, not to have any other gods before him. Going back to Exodus 20 and 3, right? So you gotta be circumspect. You gotta lay hold and observe the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. Now, the 2/3, they are not doing that. Okay. A lot of these Christians are people which consist of you Native American, Indians, Latinos, or Negroes. They are not doing that. 2/3 of them. Exodus 20 and 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And that is plain. So they are not laying hold of this word. They're not taking heed of this word, of the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. See, right? Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? Throughout this book is repeating or repeatedly saying, take heed unto yourselves or to yourselves. Okay? Which he's saying, take hold of my words, take hold of my ways, take hold of what he's saying. Attend to which is preserve. All right? Observe them because they are life. So be circumspect, watch, pray, and be not deceived. As the scripture tell you in Deuteronomy chapter 11, right? Deuteronomy chapter 11 and 16 say, take heed to yourself that your heart be not deceived. Right? So you gotta watch, you gotta pray, and be not deceived. All right? So we must walk in the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? Now we can go in the book of Joshua, chapter 22, right? And verse 5, because Joshua is speaking to the Reubenites when you start off on the top. But I'm going to go straight on to the point. Joshua 22 and 5. But take diligent heed to the commandment and the law. You see that? But take diligent heed to the commandment and the law which Moses, the servant of Yahweh, charged you, children of Israel, okay, to love Yahweh, okay, your power. And what is the love of the Most High? What? To keep his commandments. Take hold of them. Right? To walk in all his ways, the commandments, and to keep his commandments, and to cleave unto him, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. And that is taking heed, right? Which is to attend to, which is preserve. Observe them, because they are life. That's what taking heed is. And as I open, when you type in take heed, it give you a result of 77 times. All right. So the Lord is telling you throughout this book to look at, to observe my ways, which is preserved for you, O house of Israel. Be circumspect, because the reason why you're going to be circumspect, so you won't be deceived. Deuteronomy 11 and 16 state. Okay. Now Joshua 22:5 say, be diligent, but take diligent heed. Diligent, which really means exceedingly, much, greatly, all right, greatly up in abundance. So what in abundance are you taking heed to? Observing the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So you want to abundantly, right, take heed to the commandments. All right? Because he says diligently or diligent. But many of our people, okay, have left off to take heed. Is why the commandment is why the increase of is why the increase and commitment of wickedness, all right, are rampant. All right, because why? They left off to take heed. Okay, and this fit neatly with these Christians, who a lot of them who are Israelites. Let's go to Hosea. Okay, we go to the book of Hosea, chapter 4. I can take it at verse 6. Hosea 4 and 6. Right? It said, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. Right? As they are increased, so they sin against me. As they are increased, meaning so they multiply. As they multiply, as they multiply, so they sin against the Lord. Because how they can sin? Just look at your mother, just look at your daddy, just look at your grandparents, your great grandparents, and see if they keep in the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? See if they're doing them, see if they're living in them, and see what they're teaching you, teaching their children. Okay? Are they teaching them to fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai? Are they growing up their children in the fear of the Lord? As they were increased, multiply, so they sin against me. All right? Because they can teach their children, and their children can teach their children not to take heed, not to be circumspect, not to attend to the thing which is preserved and observed uh, to them for life. All right? Say, therefore will I change their glory into shame. Going back to Deuteronomy chapter 4, right? It's stated, let me just get it. This Deuteronomy 4 and 6, it say, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, every other nation other than the nation of Israel. Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. But now the Lord say what? Therefore I will change their glory. See, their glory was a wise and understanding people, but now it is changed to their shame because the curses. Okay? Because they went out of the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? Verse 8 say, they eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. So what they do? They teach each other how to sin, and they stack sin like stacking bricks, which is iniquity, right? Verse 9. And there shall be like people, like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them their doings. So Lord say, like, yeah, they should be their priests, and them should be like the same. So guess what? He's gonna punish them for their wickedness, for their doings. All right. Both are wicked, all right, and both will be judged, and the Most High will repay them for their wicked works. All right. So, right, we can say, for they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. So they have left off to take heed from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, meaning they went out of the ways of the Lord. So we must observe the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai unto his doctrine, being circumspect, looking narrowly, keeping your eyes single. Okay, let's go to 1 Timothy. Okay, we go to 1 Timothy chapter 4. Let's take at 11 to 16. All right, it says, these things command and teach. Let no man despise the youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity, till I come. Give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, which the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may prosper to all. Take heed, you see that? A word again, take heed, okay, unto thyself, right? Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. Okay, Shalom Malak Yahweh Barakatah. Right? So, like I mentioned a little earlier, we must observe the ways of Yahweh Yahushai unto his doctrine. This is why I read that 1 Corinthians 4 and 16, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, which is Yahweh Yahushai's doctrine. Right? Being circumspect, watching out, looking around so that you wouldn't be deceived. Looking narrowly, keeping the eyes single, only on this doctrine, only on the ways of Yahweh Yahushai. Right? So if you're in this truth, you should not have a piece of doubt in you. Right? You should not have a piece of doubt in your heart. Okay? About the ways of Yahweh Yahushai. All right? Because the Lord tell you throughout this book, he keep saying it, take heed, take heed. All right? That's what he keeps saying. Take heed. All right? Observe, lay hold, and observe the covenant of this book, the covenant of Yahweh Yahushai. All right? Hebrews 3 and verse 12 and 13. It says, take heed. See that word again? Take heed. Brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living power. You see that? Take heed, meaning to be circumspect, to lay hold, to observe, to preserve, to look narrowly, okay, to attend to take care, right? So take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief. This is why I said a little earlier, so you shouldn't have a doubt in your heart, in your thoughts, in your mind about the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? Because now if you have an evil heart, then you have a doubt in the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? See, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief. You know, you may read something and you may say, boy, I don't think this go like that, or not like that, or whatever. It was being broken down to you, but yet you still disbelieve it. All right? So in be departing from the living power. So when you start to doubt, you start to depart from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Verse 13 says, but exhort one another daily. You see that? Exhort one another daily. Okay? This is why we have to check on our brothers. Okay? You have to check on them. All right? Make sure everything is all right. Okay? Make sure they're on point. Because brothers do go through some stuff. So you want to check on them. That's why I say, but exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. Because your brother may be going through some shit that he may can't deal with. It may be too much for him, and then it may cause him to stumble. All right. The next thing you know, that hey, next thing you know, you're going through some shit. All right. So hey, so yeah, man. Uh, this voice here, let me read it again. For 13, but exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. And what that goes back to, where all we started back. So like where we started from. Deuteronomy 4 and 23. Okay. Deuteronomy 4 and 23. Take heed unto yourself, lest ye forget the covenant of the Lord your God. You see? So if you ain't taking heed, you ain't observing, you ain't watching, okay? You think you can do the will of the Lord and you're not watching? You're not being circumspect? You're not laying hold of his words? Okay? That's why the scripture says, lest in Hebrews 3 and 13, lest any of you be hardening through the deceitfulness of sin. All right? Now that you ain't lay hold of this word, then sin captured you. The deceitfulness captured you. Okay? And going right back to Deuteronomy 11 and 16, telling you, be not deceived. All right? Even Yahweh Shai said it multiple times. Okay? Deuteronomy 11 and 16 say, take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. And we know that these Christians today, they ain't serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the one true power. Okay? Their hearts already turned aside from the God of the Bible. Okay? Now, do you think they have the truth? Or they may have zeal, yeah, but not according to this word, not according to this. Okay? Um, the book of Romans, chapter 10, tell you, yeah, they have the zeal. Okay? Romans 10 and 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. For they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, and have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. Okay? You ask them, what's the color of the Lord? They say color don't matter. And we know right then and there when they say color don't matter, it shows that where their hearts is, where their thoughts are on white Jesus. This is why when you show them the scriptures in Revelation 1 and break it down to them what color he is, they get mad at that and don't believe it. And then they say all kind of things, but oh man, write the Bible. It will show me one book man didn't wrote. You see? So yeah, man, hey, the scripture tell you, take heed unto yourselves. Means to lay hold of these words, which was preserved, okay, and observe them because they are life. Scripture tell you that Baruch 4 and 1, these words are life. The commandments is life. Okay? Even John chapter 3 and 36. All right, tells you. Okay? So yeah, man, with that, Lord will, all right, he was edified. Okay, I like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to you, Akim, for just pushing the truth in love, sincerity, and charity with all humility. Okay, Shalom and the Bible Paul from Yasharahla.